Hello, this is Joe. I started a vlog like 3 years ago called Joe at 40. I'm 43 now. I gave vlogging a try for a month. That was like my goal. Like, let's see if I can do a month of vlogging and how to go. And honestly, it was too stressful. I started trying to do too much at once. I had a lot of things going on, and now I'm just kind of like at a point where I'm thinking, there's a lot of things going on again in my life, but if I can do a vlog and keep it simple, I don't have to make a piece of art every time I turn the camera on. I'm trying to keep myself accountable for things that I need to get done in my life, and I think this is a good way. This is inspired by the idea of setting goals. I am like inadvertently a goal-oriented person. In other words, I don't always just say I'm gonna do this and this is how I'm gonna get there and follow the steps and get there. It's usually like something in the back of my head that says, hey, you're gonna do this now. And I don't vocalize it, I don't proclaim it, I just do it. And there's a benefit to that, but I have other people's lives that I need to be accountable for. And I think it's time that I make myself accountable by really fleshing out these goals and coming to a decision. And yeah, that's kind of why I'm picking this up again. So let's talk about where I'm at. I've got personal goals, I've got family goals, and I think the important thing right now that I'm focusing on is actually work goals, because it ties into everything else. But I have a real why right now. I've got people that have worked for me that I care about deeply. And, when you own a small business, you may get to a certain point where you're comfortable, but the people that work for you, they kind of want a reason to show up every day. And if they're at the top of what they were hired to do, well, guess what? They're going to go look other places. And I don't want that, because I really like the people that work with me. I want them to stick around, so I've got to create an environment where they can grow. So that's really like the primary goal right now in my life is to push my work life to a level that can elevate the people who work for me. I think that's a fair thing to do. On a personal side, I definitely going through a lot of changes. My daughter left for college. She's at college now. She's out of the house. My son's, he's at kind of the halfway point in high school, so he's going to start gearing up for that same transition as well. So, I'm really refocusing on what does it mean to have a quality family experience now that everybody's kind of the family's kind of in a disarray. It's broken apart, and how do we focus on keeping it all together? How do I handle the change in relationship with my wife now that our responsibilities have changed? So that's on the personal side. It's really a matter of identifying and focusing on what family means to me, and what I can do for my family. And I think the work stuff really ties in with that as well, because, with more financial freedom comes more opportunities to maybe do things with the family that we've never been able to do. So that kind of helps with the personal and the work goals. I should say the family and the work goals. Now, on the personal side, I have, since I've spoken to you, I have run two full marathons. They were both actually earlier this year. January and March. January, I ran the Disney Marathon. It was an eye-opener. Any sane person would have gone through that and said, nope, not for me. Not going to do that distance again. 26.2 miles. Hell no. But I was disappointed by my performance, mostly because I was sick and I just knew I wasn't able to give it my all. But holy cow, the wall I hit, about 20 miles into it, I was in severe pain and just, made it through based on like pure emotion. I just wasn't going to give up. Then I did my second marathon in Myrtle Beach, mostly as a kind of reaction to like, I can do better. And I did. I shaved more than 20 minutes off of my time in the Disney Marathon. I felt a lot better. I still hit a physical wall, and it was still painful, but it wasn't like what happened at Disney. It was just kind of an expected pain. But now, as I've learned over the last year, marathons are grueling. They're not something you want to do willy-nilly. You have to train hard for them, and you have to find what works for your body. So it's been a cool hobby of trying to fine-tune like how to get to that point where you're still going to hurt, you're still going to be in pain, but I'd like to be able to have a persistent mileage performance. In other words, I'd like to be able to run, at the same pace that I ran in the beginning of the race at the end of the race, if not better at the end of the race. So that's something I'm working towards right now. So that's kind of a catch up with where I'm at. So I'm gonna try to set these vlogs up and do as little work as possible so that I can actually put them up. I was inspired by a photography vlogger who, I don't even want to say his name. I don't want to it doesn't matter. But he puts so little effort into the actual production of his vlog. It's more about like what he has to say. And, I kind of opened my eyes up. Like, you don't have to do every vlog as an epic, Casey Neistat type of like film piece. It doesn't have to be that way. So that's what I'm going to try and focus on. But I do want to do and share some of the video work that I have done and I will be doing, because I'm also a photographer, and I have been forced through just the times being what they are as being a videographer at times as well. So, it's very interesting to see what can be done with the equipment that I have just for shooting photos. So that's something cool that I will share, and maybe the process will be interesting to people, and I can talk about the gear I use, and I have interests in many places, whether it be photography, whether it be running and yoga, and everything that surrounds those parts of my like interests and work life. So I think I have a lot to offer as far as, what it's like to be someone who runs a business, also has kind of I wouldn't call it a side gig because it takes up a lot of my time, but, has another business that's doing very well for itself as a solo gig more than a business with employees. And then having my interests and my family all tied into it. So, that's where the vlog comes in. I'm rambling now, so I'm just gonna cut it off here and just say it's good to be back, and hopefully I can get some accountability for the things I need to get done. So that's what we're starting with. That's the focus of this vlog today is accountability, and I'm gonna work that out in the next couple of days. We're gonna start doing some goal setting. So yeah, that's where I'm at, and I hopefully will see you tomorrow. Thank you.